Wherever you are in this amazing nation, I hope you are ready for one of the greatest examples of FAFO and fold, you cheap suit Democrats that you've ever seen. Because the Texas Democrats, you know, the virtue signaling ones that are standing up for the people in the gerrymandering scandal of the decade in Texas, yeah, they're going back home because the money got blocked by a judge because Beto O'Rourke was trying to circumvent the will of the people. Yeah, I can't imagine why they have 34% approval rating. Everything I'm about to show you is going to be linked right down in the description box below, and of course, and of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, because only you have the power to stick your finger right directly in the eye of the very person at YouTube who puts you in the penalty box and cancels the notifications. All right, make sure you do that because eyes need poking. Everything will be linked in the description. Let's get into this. At Braden LOA on X. Guys, jump over there. It's where everything is happening. It is an incredible adjustment and addendum to what we're doing here. And with that, let's get into Texas. All right. We covered this multiple times. First, the Democrats in Texas left like little petulant children. Then they got I think it was $1,500 an hour jet paid for somehow to get out of the state, and then they went to states that had gerrymandering issues as well, like Illinois, Massachusetts, and New York. Yeah, no irony there. And then they started virtue signaling and marketing themselves as the savior of the people and saving democracy across the planet. After a week, they're going back. It's almost like it was a big marketing ploy. But anyway, check this out. I got so much stuff to show you, and stick around because Beto O'Rourke getting kicked right in the proverbial teeth is always worth a sitting down. Texas Senate passes the map that adds 5 GOP seats and eliminates 5 Democrat seat thoughts. By the way, 2 of those people, one Al Green, second Jasmine Crockett. Welp, okie dokie then. I'm all right with that. Let's keep on going because, again, this is how you do this. When they try to make these big, grandiose, democracy-saving things all about themselves, it turns out it falls apart when you take away their money. Here you go, Greg Abbott, governor of Texas. My lawsuit in the Texas Supreme Court against the ringleader of the derelict Democrats in the Texas House goes to the next level. Closer to consequences for Texas Democrats running away from their duties and spending the summer in California and Illinois. Beautiful. Phenomenal. Amazing. And if you want to read the whole thing, it's linked in the description box below. This goes back to what I said on this channel multiple times. I think I said it while we were at Goals. Do not arrest them. That makes them the victim. That gives them the opportunity to go out and say, oh my God, they're being so mean while I'm trying to save democracy. I'm just like the founding fathers. Or you can just take away their money because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You can remove them from the seat because they're derelict from their position, and you can let the courts do it, and it follows the actual consequences of which everyone is thirsty and starving for in this nation. This is the way to do it. It's amazing. We are smarter than them in at least this case. All right, and now, if this doesn't make you smile, we're just gonna keep on rolling. The smiles are still coming. Judge blocks Beto O'Rourke from financially supporting Texas Democrats who left the state. Now, why would Beto O'Rourke and a political action committee want to fund the Democrats to go to different cities and states outside of their responsibilities to the citizenry of Texas? That seems weird for somebody who wants to save democracy, doesn't it? Yeah, look at this. Former U.S. Rep. Beto O'Rourke cannot financially support Texas Democrats who left the state to delay passage of a new congressional map, a Tarrant County judge ruled Friday evening. Well, wait a minute. Why was Beto and a political action committee funding the Democrats? I thought it was all about the virtuous move to go without pay and go without their homes in order to save democracy. Turns out a political action committee formed and supported by Beto O'Rourke, giving him nothing but attention in the liberal press, they were funding them? That's so weird. Let's continue. O'Rourke and his political group, Powered by People, were sued by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton Friday afternoon. Paxton argued that the group was deceptively fundraising for and illegally helping support Texas Democrats as they fanned out to Illinois, Massachusetts, and New York to deny the House the head count needed to pass legislation. Now keep in mind, no legislation was getting passed whatsoever, including flood relief, because this whole thing backfired them because they were treating it like a marketing ploy. All right, let's keep on going. Tarrant County District Judge Megan Fahey granted Paxton's request for a temporary injunction, barring O'Rourke and powered by people from fundraising for the Democrats or spending money to cover their expenses. The order came less than 4 hours after Paxton's office filed the petition. Isn't that weird? Because we did a video yesterday about O'Rourke getting out there, dropping F-bombs and saying how much they got to fight and not care about the rules. It's almost like he's posturing for more money to support Democrats to subvert the will of the people of Texas in order to achieve a national DNC goal for his own benefit in order to, I don't know, be relevant again after he lost 3 times in a row. I tell you what, wonders never cease. But let's go to a local source. Maybe I'm crazy sitting out here in Florida where the weather's amazing. The fall is coming and I can't wait to get on those beaches for new fish species. But right here, it turns out that we're onto something. Watch this. This is from Texas.
Now, our breaking news team and ABC 13's Tom Abrams is live in the newsroom with what you have learned, Tom.
That's right. Well, ABC 13 did confirm this afternoon that the Texas House Democrats are going to come back to the state for a second special session.
Now, keep in mind, they were going to stay forever as long as it took to save democracy. Well, it turns out they were there for a week. They went through one special session, they canceled it, and now they're going back for the second one where they're actually going to be there. Anyone else smelling bullshit? Yep. All right, let's keep on.
The timing of that still uncertain. It really depends on when that second special session begins, which could be as early as Friday. Now, since our initial reporting on this at 4 o'clock, the Texas Democratic Caucus reached out to our partners at ABC News and asked the language be changed. They initially asked for a correction and said that no formal decision had been made, that returning to Texas was among many options. Nobody from the Democratic Caucus reached out to me asking that we correct our reporting or make any changes. However, we do want to include language that they sent to both us and ABC News. Members are still assessing strategies going forward and are in private meetings to make decisions about future plans currently. If and when Texas House Democrats breaking quorum decide to go home is squarely dependent on the actions of the governor, speaker, and Texas Republicans in charge with regard to prioritizing flood victims over redistricting that hurts Texans. Now, that came 40 minutes after.
Okay, so you can see the angle already. Again, I'm cutting this in half. The second part's the best. You can see already what the narrative's going to be. Oh, well, we're going to go home and be the good guys because we need to get back to the business of the people of Texas, even though we stalled the entire thing the whole time for personal gain and, national notoriety and attention on TV. Yeah, y'all pieces of crap. But that's what they're going to do. In fact, even the language that he just showed right there was, well, that's really dependent on if, the Texas governor decides that they're going to redistrict or not. They're going to redistrict. Wait until I show you the little hint the anchor does here in a second. They're about to throw them under the bus. Watch this. Fantastic. Watch them fold like cheap suits.
After our initial reporting. And we only went forward with that reporting after confirming with no fewer than 5 sources on and off the record. Democrats told us they believe they've accomplished their mission of killing the session and highlighting the issue nationally, but they recognize they cannot stay out of the state indefinitely.
Ding, 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 ding. They've accomplished their mission. They're going home victorious to do exactly what they said they weren't going to do because they got tired of being away from their homes for a week. Quite the warriors you've got over there on the left, Dems. You literally just heard them say, but of course we can't be out here indefinitely. The entire marketing push for a week and a half in the virtuous, amazing signal of the Democrats from Texas was, we'll stay as long as it takes. Well, apparently that meant a week. And after all, it was never about stopping redistricting the whole time. It was only about stopping that one special session, which then he's going to come back as governor of the state of Texas and do a second session, which then they're going to go in and vote and create a quorum. It is comical. It's almost like if you take away the money and you take away their positions, all of a sudden their self-interest takes over and they go, well, we can't do it forever. That's crazy. Yeah, nuts. Let's keep on going. These people are so slimy.
They will focus on flood relief as a priority when they do return. And this decision came shortly after Speaker Dustin Burrows said this morning that assuming there is no quorum Friday, the session will end early and the governor will call a second special session.
So what happens next?
Good question. We do think that on Friday, if there is no quorum and Speaker Burrows is true to his word, he will end the first special session. The Senate will do the same. The governor then will immediately call a second special session, at which point we expect at some point that the Democrats will return from out of state and there will be a quorum in the House and in the Senate.
All right, Tom. So as the House Democrats remain out of state here, any chance the Senate Democrats will break quorum?
I'm told by multiple sources that the Senate will not break quorum. They need 11 Democrats.
Nope, they aren't going to, because this is a loser on the national stage. Hey guys, congratulations. You've made an ass of yourselves yet again. You got less money, you got no money, you got big damage on the Democrat brand. No one likes you still. You have the lowest ranking of nationally the Democrats have ever had, according to Gallup polling released on Monday. You're doing great. I look forward to your next adventure into stupidity. And with that, I hope each and every one of you have the most amazing Wednesday you've had this week. And I'll see you on the next one. So much to cover.